Braves country.
Good morning. Welcome to Braves Country today as the Atlanta Braves lose yet another one. They get beat by the Boston Red Sox. The Boston Red Sox basically clubbed their way to a two-game sweep in Atlanta, scoring 10 runs last night, 14 hits, and things are not going well in Atlanta whatsoever. If you missed the game last night, essentially, there was bullpen woes from the jump, and the death blow, you would say, would be Minter coming in for a third of an inning after Greene let the gates open and giving up a grand slam. Shane Greene, the reliever everybody was chomping at the bit, including I, to sign, he hasn't looked good. He's got a 15 ERA now. Gave up 3 earned runs last time. I know he wasn't on the mound when the actual runs were scored. But it makes you wonder if this whole spider tack gate that's going on in baseball, is it affecting all of the Braves pitchers that were so good last year? Why is Greene? Why is Martin? Why are these guys? Why is Minter? Why are they so bad this year? And you got to start asking that real question, that hard, honest truth with ourselves as Braves fans. Were they using substance that was leading to this incredible bullpen we had last year? Now, it's still an early sample size, but if this continues throughout the summer, you've got to start asking yourselves, was this pitching staff built on some version of spider tack? Because they've looked terrible. They've looked absolutely terrible. Ian Anderson, once again, 4 innings, 4 earned runs, couldn't get past the 5th inning against a hard-hitting Boston Red Sox offense. And if you've watched the Red Sox all year long, you know how good they are. But when your pitcher, who's supposed to be one of your best, continues to struggle in the early go and continues to struggle against good hitting teams like the Dodgers, like the Red Sox, you got to start wondering. He pitched well in New York against the Yankees this year, but remember something, the Yankees have been terrible all year long. They've had a couple of wins up in Toronto recently, but other than that, the Yankees have been terrible all year long. So you got to start asking yourself, were we a paper tiger? Now, as far as last night's game goes, it was absolutely dumbfounding to me that SNITKER, while the game was still in hand, it was still a 1-run game, he brings in Muller to come in and face. He's a lefty. He's a crafty lefty coming from the minors, major league debut. And he brings him out of the pen in a game where the Braves have scored some runs. We're back in this thing. And they bring him in to face predominantly the right-handed buzzsaw of the Boston Red Sox lineup. It made no sense at the time. I was screaming at the television. I was like, what the hell is he doing? Not only are you giving yourself very little chance of winning the ball game, you can destroy this kid's confidence. So Muller comes in, 1 inning, 4 hits, 2 earned runs. I don't even know how the hell he got out of it. It seemed like that he was up there hoping and praying with every single pitch. And then Matzik came in and had a clean inning. But Greene and Minter salted it away, and once again the Braves lose. Now, there was something that happened in the 9th inning. If you went to bed early and you said, to hell with this, the Braves had a rally going. Ronald Acuna Jr. hit a double in the gap to score a run. They were down 3 at the time. That makes them down 2. And he, after hitting the double on his way, trying to stretch it into a triple with 1 out, gets thrown out at third base. And we all know the cardinal rule of that is you never want to be the first or last out. So he wasn't. But you're also that run doesn't matter. And this was SNITKER responding to it. He said, "No, that shouldn't happen. That shouldn't be excited." I don't know what he meant by that. He's hit doubles before. Like I say, that's just one of those things. You can't do stupid things like that and expect to win games. We've got the tying run at the plate and the MVP, and you get thrown out by 10 feet. You can't do that and expect to win. That's not excited either. These guys have hit a lot of base hits, doubles, the whole thing. It's just being aware and smart. You can't make those kinds of mistakes and expect to win. Now, I agree with that sentiment. I don't know if you say it publicly. I think what you have to do, and Acuna's had some issues over the years, but all in all, he's been a pretty good baseball player when it comes to making the smart play. He's done some goofy things. He's done some dumb things. He's also young and raw. I don't believe that you throw the guy under the bus in the media. And as much as that he can say that, what about the stupidity of putting a lefty in against possibly the best right-handed lineup in baseball in a high leverage situation when you're down 1 run after making a comeback to make this a game and get the team energized? What about that, dumbass? You cannot blame Acuna for getting thrown out as he's overly excited in the moment of the game. And I get it. He shouldn't have went from second to third. That is absolutely correct. His run meant nothing. You keep the pressure on. There's a big difference between Freddie Freeman up at the plate with 1 on, or with the batter on second and down 2 than there is Freddie Freeman with 2 outs and nobody on. But you cannot make those kind of statements when you are mismanaging the bullpen on a daily basis. And that's what's happening. That's what's happening with him. It's ridiculous. It's absurd that SNITKER wants to talk about stupid things, because everything he has done recently has been stupid. I said before last year, I thought he was overrated as a manager. He doesn't have that fire. He's not a guy that they're going to rally around. It's like they tried to reinvent Bobby Cox, but he doesn't have that Bobby Cox fire. And Bobby Cox could light a fire under his bunch. A Bobby Cox coached Braves team is not sitting 10 games back in the loss column in the middle of June with the talent that they have on that roster. They've had some injuries. And I could live with 4 or 5 game back, but 10 back, it's time for his ass to get it in gear or go one way or the other. This series that begins tonight against St. Louis, if I'm AA and I'm the upper management, I'm seriously looking at this as, if you don't at least split this damn series and show that you're the manager going forward that can get this team going in the right direction, you got to go, because all we're doing is losing and losing and losing. And we can tank with anybody out there. But we can at least light a fire under them. Let old Wash, run the team for the rest of the year, and then go find it. And then go find a manager that you want to roll with. Hell, maybe Washington could light a fire under this team, do what he did in Texas, and away we go. But this, to me, is do or die. The Braves cannot continue to lose games. The Mets continue to win. They did get the bad news, by the way, that on Jacob deGrom, he comes out the 3rd inning of the Mets game. So He's going to have an MRI. He said he had a sore shoulder. I don't know what to expect from this, but I do know this. If he has to miss any time whatsoever, go on the IL. That's what the Braves got to pounce. They got to start winning some damn games. And it's now, not July. If they're going to actually try to win this, if they're actually going to try to win this division, it's now or never with going and getting some help, because they need some help. They need a bat in the outfield. They need some help in the back of the bullpen. And let's be honest, it wouldn't hurt to have a starting pitcher, but they're not going to make that many moves all at once. But you got to do something other than some minor deal where it's like, cash considerations for some guy that's basically on his last leg. They got to make a deal, and they got to do it now, or they have to concede defeat, punt it, and say to hell with it. We will sell at the deadline, and we will turn those prospects into moves next year when we have a chance to reset and get the hell rid of SNITKER. Because if SNITKER does not turn around, I'm done with them. This was Ronald ACUNA Jr.'s response, by the way, to getting thrown out through his interpreter. Honestly, I was just trying to make an aggressive play. That was my mentality. But looking back on it, that was my bad. I made a mistake. I obviously should have given the hitter behind me a chance to drive in a run. It's not just that. It's the big picture of my run doesn't mean anything. Me staying alive on second means something. My run doesn't mean anything. The player at the plate, his run means something. And if he cannot figure it out, then you have the next, but you give yourself two chances. So it was a bad play, but that game was lost in the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings. That game wasn't lost in the bottom of the 9th, down by 3, going into there. It dumbfounds me, the lack of accountability that SNITKER has, and likes to punt it. He just seems so inept, and like, I don't want to say he's half-assing the job, but he doesn't seem like he's got the fire to put it in there. Hell, go out tonight and get your ass thrown out of the game. Do something to get the damn crowd behind you. Atlanta, they will be playing the St. Louis Cardinals tonight. We'll react to that tomorrow because we're gonna try to make this a little shorter today. So, but Charlie Morton takes the mound. It's time for him to step up. How broken record of that? 5-3, the 4.5 ERA. That's not what you brought in for a $15 million veteran. He's going up against Gant, 4-4 with a 3.36 ERA. He was much better early in the season, much worse later recently. The thing about Gant, he's got a high walks hit whip rate, right? He can be gotten to. You just got to be patient at the plate, and that's what the Braves have to do. This is a guy that you can knock out in the 3rd or 4th inning and start working on that Cardinals bullpen, because we've got a 4-game series starting today. So that's a big deal. All right, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Morton, by the way, you got to go 6, my man. You can't fiddle thumb out there and barely make it through 4. Go sit down and get yourself a ice cold water and go, well, I'm done for the day. If he struggles, leave his ass out there to struggle. To hell with his ERA. The bullpen's been used quite a bit the last couple of days, and you're going to you got to take one for the team. You need to go out and be Charlie Morton today and not Charlie Brown. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for listening to Braves Country today. Like, subscribe, and share. We'll be here tomorrow to set you for the weekend.
You're in Braves Country.